Top on. Let's do it. We had this thing going. Whoops. And let me put up my other thing. I don't have it all put together yet. Okay, sure. Okay. Twitch. Let's see. All right. I kind of wish that I sounded, you know, less horrible, but whatever. Here, I'm going to put on my fan. All right. On. I almost kind of finished this sandwich. All right. Web dev. Today is web dev. So let's hop right back into where I was on Friday, I think. Here, let me do this thing here. Start up the actual chatter. Oops. All right. All right. Let's ask it a question. AI, what is the difference between a sandwich and a witch sand? Okay, well, there we go. All right. So, right back to where we were on Friday. Back to the ClickOps. All right. Had I not done this? Where's add root? Okay, so there it is. So had I really not done one before? Okay, so API gateway, APIs. Oh yeah, I had done it before. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Okay, well, let's get rid of the new one. This one doesn't look right. I'm just going to get rid of this one also and just do it fresh. Whatever. Because it only took a second to do that other one. Eventually, of course, well, I say eventually, but hopefully soon, we'll want to have these all in Terraform, but we'll see. Okay, so API gateway. And we shouldn't have any anywhere. Okay. So we're going to go create. Right, so there we go. So we know what we want. Okay. All right, so I guess that was all set up already on the one from the other day, but whatever. So, all right. Protect your API against unauthorized requests. Routes with no authorization attached are open. Okay, so let's see what we do here. Okay, so yes, we'll need this, I guess, right? I'm gonna have to brush my teeth here in a second. Shoot. Was there a hint about this here? Let's go back in. Okay. I'm going to come back in a minute, and then let's read over this again. All right, that's better. So, let's read over this again. We're going to think about what we're trying to do here. Needs to have certification on it. Um, the Cloud Resume Challenge. So, I'm really covering a bunch of it up, huh? Is that better? Oh, that's a lot better. Sure, yeah, let's look at it like this. Okay. The Cloud Resume Challenge, AWS. New. Check out the new 2025 edition of the Cloud Resume Challenge guidebook for AWS. A book? On Gumroad? It says Gumroad down there. So I don't know about that. Let's just go down this. 1. Certification. Your resume needs to have the AWS... Oh. What's this broken image? Needs to have the AWS Cloud Practitioner certification on it. This is an introductory certification that orients you on the industry-leading AWS cloud. If you have a more advanced AWS cert, that's fine, but not expected. You can sit this exam online for $100. New! Exam Pro offers a full AWS Cloud Practitioner course, CLFC02, with both free and paid study options. You can access free video lessons and practice exams without needing a credit card, giving you everything you need to prepare and pass the exam. Number 2, HTML. Your resume needs to be written in HTML, not a Word doc, not a PDF. Here is an example of what I mean. So here's somebody's code pen. Sure, let's take a look at somebody's code pen. Well, it says simple, and my goodness, it is simple. And so, you know, that shows how simple it can be, and I think that really works. 3, CSS. Your resume needs to be styled with CSS. No worries if you're not a designer, neither am I. It doesn't have to be fancy, but we need to see something other than raw HTML when we open the web page. 4, static website. Your HTML resume should be deployed online as an Amazon S3 static website. Services like Netlify and GitHub Pages are great, and I would normally recommend them for personal static site deployments, but they make things a little too abstract for our purposes here. Use S3. HTTPS is number 5. The S3 website URL should use HTTPS for security. You will need to use Amazon CloudFront to help with this. 6, DNS. Point a custom DNS domain name to the CloudFront distribution so your resume can be accessed at something like mycoolresumewebsite.com. Okay, there you go. You can use Amazon Route 53 or any other DNS provider for this. A domain name usually costs about $10 to register. On Route 53, I think they're usually 15, but maybe I'll have to look again. Maybe some are less. I think they're usually 15 or more. 7, JavaScript. Your resume web page should include a visitor counter that displays how many people have accessed the site. You will need to write a bit of JavaScript to make this happen. Here is a helpful tutorial to get you started in the right direction. 8, database. The visitor counter will need to retrieve and update its count in a database somewhere. I suggest you use Amazon's DynamoDB for this. Use on-demand pricing for the database, and you'll pay essentially nothing unless you store or retrieve much more data than this project requires. Here is a great free course on DynamoDB. Okay. And they have indeed linked straight to AWS. So that's good. User guide, guidance, best practice, immersion, developing. So, wow. Nine, API. Do not communicate directly with DynamoDB from your JavaScript code. Instead, you will need to create an API that accepts requests from your web app and communicates with the database. I suggest using AWS's API Gateway and Lambda services for this. They will be free or close to free for what we are doing. 10. 10. Python. You will need to write a bit of code in the Lambda function. You could use more JavaScript, but it would be better for our purposes to explore Python, a common language used in backend programs and scripts, and its Boto 3 library for AWS. Here is a good free Python tutorial. So on this particular point, I did actually diverge from what they suggested and used Go instead. I personally think that Go makes more sense for probably most Lambda functions than Python does, because Python is very inefficient and you'll just pay more than you need to because it uses way more memory than something like Go. And it's slower. That being said, maybe I'm wrong. I probably need to actually test them head to head, and so maybe I'll get to that at some point to check and see if my understanding is correct on that. But I think Go seems like a solid choice. I don't think there's any particular reason that I know of to use Python over Go for a Lambda function, unless you want specific Python libraries like pandas or whatever, matplotlib. I mean, Python's got a lot of great libraries, so there might definitely be some that you might want. Go has great libraries too. Okay, so 11, tests. You should also include some tests for your Python code. Here are some resources on writing good Python tests. Okay, so I have not done tests yet on mine. So yeah, this is now kind of beyond where I've gotten to. I haven't done tests. I have not done this. My stuff is in GitHub, but I haven't done GitHub Actions either. Okay, so you should also include some tests for your Python code. Here are some resources on writing good Python tests. 12, infrastructure as code. You should not be configuring your API resources, the DynamoDB table, the API gateway, the Lambda function manually by clicking around in the AWS console. Too late, too late. No, I feel okay about doing ClickOps and then doing Terraform after, I think, but maybe I'll feel differently in the future. Instead, define them in an AWS serverless application model template and deploy them using the AWS SAM CLI. This is called Infrastructure as Code, or IAC. It saves you time in the long run. Yes, of course. Good. Note, a more broadly applicable and commonly used IAC tool in the industry is Terraform. It's a little less straightforward to use than SAM for an AWS serverless API, but many people prefer to use it for their project anyway. If you want to use Terraform instead of SAM, follow this guide, and that's something else on this site. I don't think we need to worry about it. 13, source control. You do not want to be updating either your backend API or your front-end website by making calls from your laptop, though. You want them to update automatically whenever you make a change to the code. This is called continuous integration and deployment, or CI/CD. Create a GitHub repository for your backend code. 14, CI/CD backend. Set up GitHub actions such that when you push an update to your serverless application model template or Python code, your Python tests get run. If the tests pass, the SAM application should get packaged and deployed to AWS. 15, CI/CD frontend. Create a second GitHub repository for your website code. Create GitHub actions such that when you push new website code, the S3 bucket automatically gets updated. You may need to invalidate your CloudFront cache in the code as well. Important note, do not commit AWS credentials to source control. Bad hats will find them and use them against you. Ha ha ha. 16 blog post. Finally, in the text of your resume, you should link a short blog post describing some things you learned while working on this project. DevTow or Hashnode are great places to publish it if you don't have your own blog. Okay, interesting. And that's the gist of it. For strategies, tools, and further challenges to help you get hired in cloud, check out the AWS edition of the Cloud Resume Challenge book. Okay, so that's what we wanted to look at. So now, with that context, so the concern about this is if it's wide open, then people could just send a whole bunch of appointments, and that would be crazy. Maybe they wouldn't, and that would be good, but the question is, can we sort of like actually stop them from doing that? So let's come here. I've been contemplating this, and I don't actually know the answer. Well, I know, certainly I know some ideas, but I don't know the real answer. So if we're on this, so here's the website. So this is fine. And so security, so you could use this, but that's not directly related to the API gateway, right? Origins, behaviors. We're gonna need to do cores. Wait, did they mention the cores in here? Error pages, invalidations, tags, login. Huh. That's interesting. I feel like kind of a lot of requests have happened for some reason. So what I'm thinking right now is that maybe the next move, I was not expecting to get like any requests, I don't think, but okay. Okay. Let me try to slow down mentally. So I think that the next thing is to just get the API gateway set up and figure out security after. Oh, that sounds bad. Because they're not, so I don't want people to have to log in any way, shape, or form in order to be able to submit a request to the form. But realistically, I think that if I'm not going to make them log in, like, I think that, what am I trying to say? If I'm not willing to make them log in, I think I just have to accept that I'll get requests from wherever. So, I don't know. Okay, so what happens when I hit deploy? Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. It says auto... Okay, hold on. APIs. So here's API. And then this is what it shows. Routes. Let's see here. Stages. Wait a minute. I don't know where I would be looking. Authorization. So there's no authorizer. Integration. That's back to Lambda. Cores we're going to need. At least I think so. What's export? Nope. Nope. Ah, here it is. Here's what I was looking for. Okay, so here is something. So let's copy link address. And now let's try sending. So I'm going to say fetch. And I'll put this in there. And I have to remind myself, I think we do like body or something. Let me look at MDN. We want this. So the option, so we choose the resources and then the options. Yeah, body. And where's method? Okay, cool. So it is just body. So we want the body to be JSON stringify. And then we'll put the body stuff in here. So it was going to be name. I will put roastifer. Okay. Address line 1. And I'll put 444 Wilson. Address line 2. I'll leave blank again. City. Let's choose Washington. State. Let's choose Wyoming. Zip. I'll just choose whatever. And then a date, time. Yeah. I might have left some things out. I don't know. Let's see what it says when I send. Oops. Okay, so stringify. No, I messed it up. Oh, missing a comma. Okay. Right, there it is. Another comma. Okay, missed 2 commas. All right, so failed to fetch. Great. Refused to connect because we have a content security policy directive. Okay, so that makes sense. So far, so good, I guess. So the question is, can we do this same thing? Like, if we try to go to where? If we try to go here, what's that going to do? Not found. Okay. So now from here, can we do it? It says 404. All right, so now we need to put appointment. Okay, so now it's sent. Oh, 500 internal server error. Okay, okay. So let's see what it says. Logging. Select. Access logging disabled. Okay, let's edit. Can we do that? CloudWatch log group. I don't think I have one. So I guess I need to make that. Okay, let's find it. So we have one for the Lambda. So do we need to create another log group for the API gateway? Okay, so I'm going to say create. And then I'm going to find the ARN. And then I'm going to say we're going to use that. Save. It says invalid. Oh, I thought it did. Oh, no. That one's dead. Okay, so successfully created. I guess. All right, so if we try sending that again, it says 500. All right. Now if we go, did we save a log of what happened? No events found. I guess I'm still not sure what is working and what is not working yet. How come it keeps saying deploy? It says this is auto-deployed. Okay. So I don't think we need to worry about that. Says logging, and then view logs in CloudWatch. Oh wait, here's something, I think. Okay. Post. Oh, okay, so it said 500. Post appointment. So post appointment is what we've got, right? I think so. So it said 500. All right, I think we'll figure this out here pretty quickly. I don't know. I don't know how quickly, but hopefully. Okay, so let's look again. So it said 500 internal server error. So that's it. Okay. Ah. So did something happen with this guy? I don't feel like it got to here, but let's see. Maybe it did. So here it is, monitor. So we saw that this one did have logging, right? So this was a cold start, it looks like. All right. So it doesn't look like it logged the actual error, but I think the error was just simply that my JSON was not right. So I had name. Oh, I left out phone. And so I don't think it's going to work if I leave out phone. I think I'm okay with that for now, probably, because I will send the phone number when I send from the website. So let's try it again with phone, and then let's see what that says. So I don't love that 500 for that. So that's definitely something to work on. But so now let's try it again with the phone and see if that's better. Left out another comma. Oh, so it still says 500. I still might have gotten something not correct. Let's see. Name, address line 1, address line 2, city, state, zip, phone, appointment date and time. Okay, yeah, I think those are right. And so it did try to invoke our lambda, so this might be the time where we need to try to add more logging to the lambda. So monitor. Let's see, it still shows these same two. Can we refresh? Oh, shoot. These are from today, right? Okay, there it is. All right, so it looks like it did more. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Now let's look at the dynamo. This ClickOps is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. All right, so here's the table. Let's look at items. Wait, where is items? Oh, explore items. Okay, no, it doesn't look like anything else was put in there. So it's putting this information into the logs, and I feel like something more needs to be put in here. Wait a minute, wait a minute. What about here? Is it any different? Oh, wait, yes, I do see more, I think. Ah, okay, cool. Appointment, date, and time. Oh, interesting. Empty string value. All right. I guess it's likely that I just messed that up. I have appointment, date, and time like this. Oh, wait. Like this. So it does show something here, appointment, date, and time. So it does have string in there, right? So let's create another test. Create new. And then let's put this JSON format. Okay, so let's try hitting that test, and it says succeeded. Okay, so now let's go to the code or whatever. So when this thing first comes in, event JSON raw message. So I'm not, so it looks like we did get to the point of trying to call this save appointment. JSON raw message. So can we log? Yeah, let's for sure try to log something. Log printf event. No. So do we think that's gonna log it? I guess so, probably. So let's go ahead and update that. Code, upload, zip. Okay, so now if we hit test again and go to logs, then we think that we'll see what we want to see. Okay, so we show details. And here we show something being logged. Okay. So now if we run this again, it says 500. And now we go to the logs for this, monitor, view logs. Okay, so this does look completely different. All right, all right. So, yes, interesting. So this is really what we're supposed to be looking for, is the body, right? So the way I was testing it before was not right. And I don't know where I got the idea that that was the way it was supposed to be, but it wasn't. So we want to take the body. Okay, let me think. So this is all good, I think. Um probably probably. Okay. So we are using JSON unmarshal. Let's look. Oh, what I'd like to do. Wait a minute. Bad syntax. Oh, of course. Sorry. What I would like to do is just get the body off of there and not worry about any of the other fields for now. I might want the other fields later, but for now, the one I know that for sure that I'm gonna want is the body. The rest I'm gonna say I'd like to say Yagni and just not worry about it until I think I'm actually gonna need them. Um, so that should be a string already, right? So it's a little bit disappointing that I didn't get that error message in those other logs, but whatever, it's not necessarily unexpected. Let's do it a little more like that, maybe. I don't have hardly anything in my build right now, do I? I just build... Can I do, static check? Oh. I'm gonna have to come back to that. I want to use static check and probably go format as well in the build script. Let's first come back here and actually test this. So we're gonna code, grab our zip file again. Okay, so now these tests should fail now, hopefully with logs that make sense. So let's choose... Oh wait, did I not save my other one? Oh damn, I guess I didn't. Oh well, that's fine. Let's just use this one. Okay, there we go. Failed. Unexpected end. Good. And if we look here, failed to unmarshal. Great. Okay. So now let's do another test. So create new. Test event 2. So we'll try it like this. And let's save this one this time. Okay, hit test, and let's see if it's different. So it says failed, I think. Okay, that's actually good. I wasn't thinking about it, but that is good, I think. I think. So let's create another one. This will be number 3. And then this time the body is in the form of a string. So let's delete that. And I'll paste here. I think that's right, is it? Maybe? Let's try that. Nope. We want it like this. Yeah, I think that's more like it. Let's see what it says. Okay. Let's test that. Or let's save it and test it. save and wait. Oh, not valid. Okay. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. Why can't... what is this thing here? Okay, so we'll have to escape all these real quick, I guess. Escape, escape, escape. What if we do it as... what's that? Is that better? Yeah, that's better. All right. Save. Okay, so that one was saved. Test. And it says succeeded. And logs. So this one said it was saved. And we can see here it was unmarshaled or whatever. Okay. All right, so now what if we send it from here again? Okay, so this time it comes back saying, okay. All right, so now if we look at the log, so go monitor and log. I've been at it over an hour already. Well, kinda. I mean, I was off to a very slow start. S. Brostifer, there it is. Okay, so now let's look in our dynamo. Okay, so now it's time to close, like, probably most of these. Okay, so now if we scan this again, so now I see Wilson was put in here with S. Brostifer. Okay. Cool. That's good. All right, so how much have I changed? Just the main file. And yes. Fix the lambda input to take the request through API gateway. Oops. All right, so that seems fine, I guess. Yeah, off to a goofy start this morning, but okay, I'm gonna step outside and get a breath of fresh air. I guess it's progress, sort of. Oh, the next part is actually exciting because now the next part is I actually get to hook up the actual form and make it work. So it makes something work. And that's a step in the right direction. Oh, man. Feels like I've been spinning my wheels these past 4 days. It's Sunday already. All right. I need to probably take like 5 minutes. I'll be back. All right. All right, let's go to the next stage. So the next stage is we're going to actually make this work for once. For once. Okay. So, good. So now I believe that from here, if I try to make that same request, so here's my form, right? And I believe that if I try to make the same request from here, that it's not going to work, right? Because of cores. But let's see. Let's test it out. Cores or something. Let's see what exactly it says. So I try. Oh, actually. Okay, cool. So yes, blocked by cores policy. Of course, of course. So that makes sense. So now it says no access control allow origin is present. Okay, so let's add that access control allow origin on the requested resource. So let's go over there. So cores, and we are going to allow an origin, and this might actually be all we have to do. So it's going to be this, add, save. Let's see what it says. Okay, I guess that's saved. So if that's ready to go, then if we try it again, then I guess maybe it'll be okay. Let's see what it says. Oh no, it says the same thing. How come it's saying 200 okay? That doesn't seem right. So I might have done this wrong. So access control allow origin. Let's see here. Cores allows resources from different domains to be loaded, excuse me, to be loaded by browsers. If you configure cores for an API, API gateway ignores cores headers returned from your backend integration. See our cores documentation for more details. Let's take a look. Man, I kind of hoped that somehow that would work, but okay. This doesn't look... So they said a preload, but it is using the fonts. So I mean, I can see that it's using the fonts there. We're gonna need to fix that, obviously. The request credentials mode does not match. Consider taking a look at cross-origin attribute. Yep. I didn't feel like it should have been cross-origin, really. Should it? Regardless, maybe we do need that attribute, though, right? Let's look at this first. Okay, so... I think I was hoping for something wrong, or now I can't even speak at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we need it on the static site and not on this. In fact, yeah, I think this doesn't help at all. Let's just get rid of it. I think we need it on CloudFront. I'm not sure yet. We need it on one of these other services, either CloudFront or S3. I feel like it should be CloudFront, but let's see. I guess it could just as easily be S3. So here's this. Origins, behaviors. What would a behavior be? So I don't think it's that. Let's cancel. Let's look at S3. Maybe it's on S3. Maybe it's easy to spot. So we want this bucket and properties probably. Cross origin request blocked. Okay, so this is docs. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm gonna close a bunch of these again. Can't. My on this monitor, the webcam blocks kind of a chunk of the monitor in the center there. All right, so this one. We'll choose this. Policies. No. Policies. Response headers. So we're going to create a policy. Okay, so let's see what this will do. So we'll allow post. Sure, that might be fine, I guess. Okay, so we'll allow post. I'm not sure about headers, to be honest. Let's see what it says. Well, I don't think I need that. Uses as values for the access control allow headers. I'll add it if I do end up needing it. I think I mainly just need I think I mainly just need this one. And the origin needs to be this. Okay, so let's see. Allow headers needs to have at least one item. Oh, I'll just choose all then. I mean, I don't know. Not a valid URL. Do I need to take the path off of it? Okay, so now that we have the policy, let's make sure the policy is added to our distribution, right? So we have this policy. Wait a minute. Okay, so now we add it to a distribution somewhere, or do we? It says distributions none. Okay, so let's go back to this one. And general, continuous, settings. Okay, so if we edit the settings, are we going to find it? I don't see it. Let me look. Okay, I don't see it. Cancel. Security. Origins. Behaviors. Okay, so I think there was something else. So create a policy, attach policy to existing distributions. So choose the distribution and choose behaviors. Okay, okay. Let's find it in behaviors. So we want to create behavior. Or do we want to edit this one? Let's edit this one, I guess. Ah, okay. So now if we look at policies and we find our policy here, then it shows it has a distribution. I don't know if the policy is right, though. I mean, oh, okay, no, it still says the same thing. So let's take a look at what we sent this time. This one. Actually, let me clear. Let's clear and look at a fresh one. Okay. All right, so here it is. And what did we send? Okay, so now I think we do need it in the API gateway as well, maybe. I'm still not too sure, to be honest. But let me try it. Okay. So that's auto-deployed. Yeah, it's supposed to prefetch those fonts, and it's warning me in the console that I've made some mistake. Something about cross-origin. I don't know why it would be cross-origin, but it does seem to be necessary, so... Alright, let's send it again. I think I haven't quite got it yet. Okay, no access control allow origin header is present on the requested resource. Do we need to allow the post? Doesn't sound... I don't think that's what it was saying. Yeah, that nasty font. Yeah, it says the same thing. So when we actually load the site, you know, I don't see a CORS response header here, which I thought I was expecting. I think I still have some wrong assumptions and lack of understanding on CORS in general, which is something I was supposed to have learned and understood ages and ages ago. But yeah, unfortunately, I think I still don't really get it. I mean, obviously. Referrer policy, strict origin when cross-origin. Okay, so on the behaviors, we're supposed to have this thing for response headers. Yes, it did help. It already helped quite a bit. I still need more help, though. Attach it to a cache behavior. All right, so I need to know this. Let's read the whole thing. Cross-origin resource sharing is an HTTP-based header-based mechanism that allows a server to indicate any origins, domain scheme, or port other than its own from which a browser should permit loading resources. CORS also relies on a mechanism by which browsers make a pre-flight request to the server hosting the cross-origin resource in order to check that the server will permit the actual request. In that pre-flight, the browser sends headers that indicate the HTTP method and headers that will be used in the actual request. Okay. An example of a cross-origin request. The front-end JavaScript code served from domain A uses fetch to make a request for domain B. Yes, that's exactly the type of thing that we're wanting to do right now. For security reasons, browsers restrict cross-origin HTTP requests initiated from scripts. All right. So they follow the same origin policy. This means that a web application using those APIs can only request resources from the same origin the application was loaded from unless the response from other origins includes the right CORS headers. Okay, so that's what we're working on right now. The CORS mechanism supports secure cross-origin requests and data transfers between browsers and servers. Browsers use CORS in APIs such as fetch and or XML HTTP requests to mitigate the risks of cross-origin HTTP requests. What requests use CORS? This cross-origin sharing standard can enable cross-origin HTTP requests for invocations of fetch or XML HTTP requests as discussed above. Web fonts for cross-domain font usage in font face within CSS as described in the font fetching requirements so that servers can deploy true type fonts that can only be loaded cross-origin and used by websites that are permitted to do so. And yeah, we need to do that because there's some complaints about the fonts. WebGL textures, images/video frames drawn to a canvas using draw image, CSS shapes from images. This is a general article about CORS and includes a discussion of the necessary headers. Functional overview. The CORS standard works by adding new HTTP headers that let servers describe which origins are permitted to read that information from a web browser. Additionally, for HTTP request methods that can cause side effects on server data, in particular, HTTP methods other than GET or POST with certain MIME types, the specification mandates that browsers pre-flight the request, soliciting supported methods from the server with the HTTP options request method, and then, upon approval from the server, sending the actual request. Servers can also inform clients whether credentials such as cookies and HTTP authentication should be sent with requests. CORS failures result in errors, but for security reasons, specifics about the error are not available to JavaScript. All the code knows is that an error occurred. The only way to determine what specifically went wrong is to look at the browser console for details. Subsequent sections discuss scenarios as well as provide a breakdown of the HTTP headers used. All right. We present 3 scenarios that demonstrate how CORS works. Ah, goodness. All these examples use fetch, which can make cross-origin requests in any supporting browser. Okay, so for simple requests, some do not trigger the CORS pre-flight. Those are called simple requests from the obsolete CORS spec, though the fetch spec does not use that term. The motivation is that the form element from the HTML4, which predates cross-site fetch and XML HTTP requests, can submit simple requests to any origin, so anyone writing a server must already be protecting against cross-site request forgery. Under this assumption, the server doesn't have to opt in by responding to a pre-flight request to receive any request that looks like a form submission, since the threat of CSRF is no worse than that of form submission. However, the server still must opt in using access control allow origin to share the response with the script. All right. So, sure. Okay. A simple request is one that meets all of the following conditions: get header post, apart from the headers automatically set by the user agent. For example, connection user agent or the forbidden request headers. What the? Okay. The only headers which are allowed to be manually set are the core's safe listed request headers, which are accept language, content language, content type, range, only with a single range header value. Okay. The only type/subtype combinations allowed for the media type specified in the content type header are application x www form URL encoded multi-part form data text plain. Okay, well there you go. No readable stream object is used in the request. Restrictions on accept language, and content language. If any of those headers have non-standard values, then these guys do not consider the request to be simple. Okay. So these extra restrictions are not part of the spec. But, I mean, from this brief description, these extra restrictions do sound like they might be a good idea, but whatever. So, for example, suppose web content at this foo example wishes to fetch JSON content from bar other. Code of this sort might be used in JavaScript deployed on foo example. Okay, so they go to fetch from the other. All right, so then that's fine. So the operation performs a simple exchange between the client and the server using core's headers to handle the privileges. Okay. So here's what the browser will send to the server. Okay. The request header of note is origin. Yep, gotta notice that, of course. And so then it responds and it says access control allow origin star. Okay. I gotta I gotta try to finish this. Oh. This course is long, but so I mean what I want to do is finish the website itself. Oh, we tried to get a fav icon. Had I seen that before? Yeah, we should have a fav icon. We don't have one yet. Okay, so when we went to go here, access control allow origin. So do I have the wrong thing in here? I do have a slash on the end of it. It was the slash at the end of it? Oh, it looks like it was actually. So now we sent this. And now I guess it says it's okay. All right, let's look at our dynamo. Here, let's send it again. Okay, so if we look at our dynamo, is that going to be saved in there? Explore items. And we just did this one, I think. Or which one did we just do? Yep, T Smarty Pants. Okay. And I haven't changed anything over here. I've just been click ops all the way, right? Okay, so that's good. Now I'm trying to decide. So the next stage is actually to finish up the form. I'm at the 1 hour 42-minute mark. Yeah, I need 30 minutes to myself.